First things first, the yummy food in Egypt. The Great Pyramids of Giza. It was surreal to watch this ancient wonder live. We went down the Menkaure Pyramid. This is the smallest one, and this walk was not very hectic, and that's the sarcophagus where the coffin was kept. The Great Panorama by day and night. We saw close to 20 mummies at the National Museum. It was crazy. Pictures weren't allowed. The next morning, we flew to Aswan, rode over the high dam, and then took a boat to get to the Philae Temple. The Philae Temple has been moved from its original place because it was submerged. It was a beautiful temple and also had Roman architecture vibes. We checked into the cruise and took another boat to get to the Nubian village, crossing amazing views and a stunning sunset and the colorful Nubian village. And then we had some fun in the cruise and some dancing, or maybe a lot of dancing. The next morning, we had to get up really early to go on a 3-hour drive through this fantastic landscape to get to the magnificent Abu Simbel, two massive rock-cut temples by Ramses for himself and Nefertari, his favorite wife of over 200 wives. We then went back and cruised to Kom Ombo, the temple for two gods, the crocodile god Sobek and the falcon god Horus. And so there were crocodile mummies and a museum full of them. Next morning, we went to the temple Edfu, another temple for falcon god Horus and also the cow goddess Hathor, one of the best preserved in Egypt. And then we cruised to Luxor, a beautiful city. That evening, we went to Luxor temple. It was beautiful with all those lights in the night. And then we took a beautiful walk by the river Nile back to the cruise. The next morning, we had to wake up early again, but it was worth it. The hot air balloon was incredible. And then we come to my favorite part of all Egypt, the Valley of Kings. The artwork is from 3,500 years ago and it's still intact and so colorful, so beautiful. We then paid a quick visit to the Hatshepsut temple, the only temple by and for a queen. And then we headed to the famous Karnak temple. It was beautiful and huge. One could make a wish and go around it 7 times, reminding me of Indian temples. And we headed back to Cairo to go to Alexandria the next day. Alexander the Great loved the city so much he named it after him. We visited the catacombs of Alexandria where they stored the coffins back in the day, and then the Roman Museum, and then the Biblioteca, the largest library in Egypt. It was stunning. And back to Cairo. The next morning we went to the Mosque of Saladin, apparently inspired by the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. It was beautiful and the views from there were stunning. A little street shopping and bye-bye Egypt.